Hi there guys, this is Farmer Bob. Welcome back to my channel. So great to be back guys with another video. I've decided to start looking at my FS19 maps and start converting them to FS22. Before I go too far in map making, I would like to give that a go and see the process on it, and hopefully learn and understand a bit more of the whole changes between 19 and 22, because there's quite a bit of changes. So anyways guys, welcome man. If this is your first time, remember to hit the like and the subscribe. I really appreciate that. It does help my channel grow, so it's always awesome to see new faces, and yeah, just a warm welcome to everyone. Good stuff man. Great guys, so the Wild is a map that I've made for FS19 obviously. It's similar to the map that everyone knows about that's called No Man's Land. Personally, I think mine is much better, obviously, for obvious reasons. But yeah, judge for yourself, take a look at it. Yeah, it's quite a fun map. There's nothing on it actually, and it's got all the basic stuff just to play the game, obviously, like a sell point and you know, shop and animal dealer and a little sawmill, those kind of stuff. But the rest of the map is blank. It's a nature map where you plow your own fields, make your own areas. There is a bit of farmland, obviously. You can't get around that because you need to buy farmland and actually buy land to work, you know. So yeah, it's the same process of making your own little farm and starting from scratch, you know. It's basically a start from scratch map. Good. Now that we have that out of the way, let's go take a look at the map. So what I've done now basically is just unzip the map, and this obviously will be a sort of a video series on converting, because it's not a one episode thing, you know, and I'm going to try to keep the episode short and impactful, you know, not want to waste too much time. So the first thing I've done is I've opened the zip file and unzipped it into a folder, and then obviously we get to this, and then the place where we want to start is the mod desk. So the idea of this is I've actually tried this a few times guys on the same map, and I've realized that there is so much stuff that needs to be converted and changed. It's actually easier to strip your map down to the bare basics. In fact, remove everything that you've installed on it, or that is installed on it, and just have the map with the default stuff on it. Not even the shop, not even have nothing on it. I'm talking default stuff like fields and grass and flowers and trees and rivers and that kind of stuff. Leave that on it, remove everything else, and then convert it, and then put everything else back. That's the process that I've worked out that seems to be the best way to do it. So obviously we're going to start at the mod desk, and the mod desk will tell you basically what all the nitty-gritty stuff is on it. Yeah, you can see immediately if you look at the mod desk, we come down to the global company. We want to delete that line because we're not going to be able, or not going to be using global company at this stage. Map icon file is fine, multiplayer is fine, and then here at the maps you can immediately see it's a mod map, so it's got scripts running. So we're going to change that back to default. You don't want any scripts running on it. So we need to strip that back to standard. Now in order to do that, we're going to open an FS19 map. FS19, there it is. Go into the mod desk for one of the FS19 maps. I'm going to choose the US one, so we're going to go into maps, map US. Let me just see if we'll find the mod desk in here. Where is the mod desk? Okay guys, after a bit of fooling around, I can't remember where the actual mod desk is, but here it is. I've got the Steam version of the game, so if you have anything else, doesn't matter. You go to the Farming Simulator 19 directory under the SDK. So in other words, it's part of the software development kit. You get maps and then map US or map DE, doesn't matter, because both mod disks will be the same. You open the mod disk and there you are. This is what your mod disk should look like. So basically, you can copy this whole map. Mind you, I'm just going to modify mine so it looks like this, because otherwise we're going to lose all the names and all that kind of stuff. You have to type that in again. So what we want, class name. So we're going to go class name. Just going to change all this the same. So mission 00. Go back there. Change this back here. Control V. Mod disk. And then this is important as well. So we want to get back to defaults. Maps, scripts. So when the map converter is going to look at this mod disk, because that's where it starts. It starts at the mod disk. It's going to see that this is just a standard map. It's got no extra nonsense and stuff. And the next file we're going to tackle is the map XML file, because that's also where all your setups run, all your even the map image, like your PDA is there. Everything about your map is in the map XML. So we will change that as well just now. And then config file. Let's have a look at the config file. Maps mapus.xml. So we're going to definitely change that as well. We don't want any other configs as default. Paste that in there. And then default vehicles, that you can leave, because mind you, default vehicles you can leave. We just need to empty that. So in other words, we're going to go to the map directory. Mine is on desktop. And then we go to the wild. It was under maps, XML, and then you find default vehicles. There it is. Oh, it is empty. Great. Oh yes, yeah. Yours will not be empty, but the wild map, you start with no vehicles. So that's why it's empty. For a moment I was thinking, oh, what did I do here? I can't remember. But anyway, you want your stuff to be empty, guys. Straightforward, back to basics. And default items is XML default items. That is a must for the new map. Default items, there it is. So what you do in here, you just delete all the content out of it, remove it, because you're not going to use that in your new map. You're going to replace them with all the new buildings from FS22, like your shops, everything. If you want to keep some of your buildings, you're going to have to take that i3D of that building as a mod and import it into FS22 on its own, export it back to your map directory, and then you can put it in here by default items again, with obviously the new links and paths and whatever that you've created. But in our case, we don't want that. We just wanted an empty default items, because in FS22 you don't use default items anymore. You now use placeables. Is it placeables.xml? I think it's placeables.xml instead of default items, although default items is still there. So once this is converted, we're going to add the placeables thing in here once it's converted. But anyway, so we don't want to fiddle with that now. Maps, title, we don't need any of that anymore. So I'm going to leave this in here because it's not going to bother anyone. Render elements, all the rest, store items, render elements, that we're going to delete. So we don't want, is there any render elements in this one? No, so we don't need that. Boop. Store items we can leave empty, because if in the new map you want to add store items, you can add it there. The whole 110, you can chuck that, get rid of it. The whole of the 110 in. Vehicle types I'm going to lose, we don't need that. Extra source files I'm going to lose. Specializations I'm going to lose. So up to, oh, missed that one, but let's just delete it up to there so far. Specializations, we can chuck that as well. Not going to have any of that at the moment. Right, so there we are. So maps is still good. The red is there. That's good. So now if we click on the bottom, the red line should go right to the top. If we click on the top, the red line should go right to the bottom. That means everything is fine in here and we can save our mod disk. Alright, so that's our first step, guys. So we've done that. It all sounds good. We don't want to change anything here on the disk version, because disk version 40 is for 40 and 41 and 42 I think is for FS19. So the converter should change it automatically to 61 I think for FS22, the disk version. So but we'll see once it's converted. So now we're done with the XML, the mod disk. So we finished that. Now we move on to obviously our map XML, and there it is. You go into your map directory, you find the one that says map, maybe map name or whatever your map XML is. It should look like this. It should start with the map size. This is a 2x map and the image file name. So if you have that, the rest of it should be fine. So we're going to go line for line here and see what the default should be. So we're going to open once again the default map XML for Farming Simulator 19 and convert our current one so it goes back to basics. So we're going to go back to data, maps. I think it should be on the maps, map XML, map us.xml, map us. There it is. Okay, so here we have now. So we're going to go line for line now and just see shop store data. So we want basically all the dollar datas for this. I've got maybe a feeling to just copy them, because they're going to be some of them like this one. Sounds, the map has got its own sounds, it's got its own environment XML. So I'm just going to take this whole thing up to missions before we get the buffers and that. Mind you, culling, I just want to see culling, density map revision 1, culling offset Z100. All right, let's copy this whole first spot from map US i3D. Map i3, it's from shop. Yeah, we're going to go from shop down to there just before the hotspot. So we copy that and paste it. Sorry, we must actually do it here. Do it on the right side, guys, not like me. Control C to copy it, go down this way, and then we've already got it selected there. No, we're going to go here from shop. Have to do this right, because if you miss a line, you'll be in trouble. Good. All right, so now we've got all the defaults set and it should be fine. All right, next step is the hotspot. Now this is obviously your shop, where your shop is going to be. I will suggest leave that, because you got your X and Y coordinates for it. I don't think you need to change anything there. Let's just have a look. Yes, yeah, that's fine. Now at additional files. Yep, this one you want to copy the whole additional files over so that we have all the dollar datas. Control C, go in here, just make sure it's all the default stuff. Control V. Okay. Oops, we've got now 2. We don't want 2. That's not good. If you click on the first one, it should be purple, and the last one should also be purple. So if both those are purple and the red line is there, you know all should be well. Okay, paintable foliages. Have we got that? Paintable foliages, grass 042. Let's have a look. Paintable foliages, ID layer name grass. 042, it sounds the same, so I'm sure that will be fine. Ground type mappings. Just want to see if this is the same. Now here you have to be careful, because if you changed ground type mappings, you might lose some of your basic stuff in your map. So for a first try, leave the ground type mappings, because if your map has got custom stuff in it, like this map has got different stuff, like riverbank, for instance. I don't see a riverbank here, you know, sand, rough, concrete. So leave it for now. If you have problems, your i3D will tell you, because all your ground type mappings, once the game opens up, after the editor opens the map, you will know if there's errors, and we probably will have. So let's carry on. Paintable foliages we've done. So in the defaults, fill types, spray types, fruit types, bale types, tree types, density, map height types, all of that is disabled. So you're going to do the same here by yours. Disabled. So what you do to disable it, you make one of these smaller than things, and then a exclamation mark, and then two dashes like that. And where you want it to end is density. There's already one there. It's two dashes and a greater as sign. Then NPCs, you want to copy that line. Control C. Mind you, this map has got a custom NPC. That's your game players. So let's just take it back to. It's going to change anyway, so let's just take this back to standard. So copy that line, Control C, drop it in there. NPCs, Control V, paste it. Right, so we're back to basics. Helpers, and farmlands. Now farmlands is important, because that actually is built around your map. So you're going to leave that, don't modify that, because you want your farmland to be, it's map specific, so leave the farmlands. Right, one last check. Is everything still alright? Go down, go up. It seems alright. And save your map XML. Good. Now, the next thing is to obviously have a look now at your add-ons on the map. Right, so on this one, just going to go back here to desktop. Where's my desktop? Oh, it's on top. There it is. And then the wild. Here it is. On this one, just going to open full plains. Clover, rye. Okay, this means if you have full plains or any other thing, it means there's custom or multi-fruit on the map, so that you're going to have to remove. It's going to cause a problem, because with textures and all kinds of stuff. So delete the full plains. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, just getting rid of that altogether. Under maps, HUD, there's a HUD, so HUD is map branding, and that should be fine. There's no problem with that. Shaders, that is a problem. We have special shaders here, so we're going to run into problem with shaders. We're going to have to find these shaders. We'll do that a bit later on. Just remember to do that. Animated objects, that should be alright. Map, all this will need to be converted to FS22. So now have a look on the data. Water plants, background, BGA, placeables, water plants. The BGA you can delete. You're not going to have a BGA. Just want to see what's in placeable. Signs, water plane, wind pump. Okay. Okay, what I'll suggest now, to do the rest, we're going to go open the map in FS19 editor. So here you have to be careful. Don't open your map in the FS22 editor. So open the map, and we're going to go back to 8.22 and open the map in there. Now we're going to delete all the unnecessary stuff out of the map itself, so it removes it from the i3D, and then we might need to modify some last bits to get rid of some errors once we obviously import the map. So we'll get around to that. Good. It says ready, but it's not showing yet. Hopefully soon. There you go. Right, so open the console big. Nice, so we don't have any errors. If you see any errors here, you have a problem. That little thing has been there even in FS22. I see they haven't fixed the problem yet. It's still giving that warning. I don't know these guys. Alright, so we have no errors. Okay, so first things first. There are no fields on this map, but if you have fields, leave the fields, because that will be converted hopefully in the conversion process. Career start point is fine, so take it from the top. Every little thing we have to go through. So gameplay is the first one. Trigger markers is fine. We don't have a problem with trigger markers. That should be just going over straight. Transport missions, I'm just going to leave that for now. ATMs. Alright, so ATMs we can delete. Everything that is a problem, we just chuck it. Warning stripes, animal dealer. I think because this one has got a trigger, I'm going to get rid of it. Delete that. Vehicle shop. Right, so the vehicle shop is our hotspot, and it's loaded via that XML. I'm going to leave the vehicle shop because this is just a trigger. It's not the building. Alright, so because it's not the building, so let's just have a look. If you press F, it will take you to the shop icon. So the shop icon should in all respects hopefully be converted. I'm not too sure if it will, but let's have a look if it does. Alright, so that leaves us with the placeholders folder, which is next. So this whole placeholders folder, selling station generic, that we can remove because all of that we want to just get rid of that. So I'm going to chuck that. Selling station bales, that is a trigger point, so delete that. It's going to be replaced with all the FS22 stuff. Selling station wood, yeah, just delete all of these. Wood chips, wool, and the vehicle sell point. Alright. Water planes, I'm going to leave all of those for now, because water planes hopefully can be converted. So let's just have a look what we end up with. And then placeables. This bridge, the bridge, I'm going to take a chance on this and see if it converts. If it doesn't, we can just delete it. It's going to mean that we're going to have to do a reconversion. In other words, delete the conversion, come and delete it out of the i3D, go back, re-import it, and let it reconvert, you know. So it's going to be a back and forth process until we got it right. Alright, forestry area. Carpentry, the forestry area, that is the whole sawmill, I think. Yes, just delete the whole thing. Old corner store, that is the shop with all the vehicles. Everything here is gonna give you hassles because it's different custom textures and all kinds of things that needs to be converted. They're gonna give you hassles, so just delete them. Silos, delete them. We can replace them in FS22. The windmills, they're gonna give you hassles. Like I say, if you want to keep any of these, what you'll do now is you'll take the windmill, for instance, any of these that you've seen. You're gonna go File, Export Selection with Files, create a folder for it somewhere. Maybe make a folder for it somewhere on your desktop or wherever. Call it windmill. I'm just going to go through the process just to show you. Windmill, enter, and then we're going to go. I've just placed it now under deco foliage. Oh wait, you don't want it there. Just cut that. Go back to mods. Wait a second. I must not be here in FS22. Sorry, this is a previous map that I've tried and it didn't work nicely. So what we want to do is just drop it on the desktop, paste it there. The windmill, there it is. Alright, so we open that. So now we've got a folder on the desktop, call it windmill for now. Save it, say no to both questions. So it takes the whole windmill with everything on it out of the map. And you'll see now on your desktop, if you've got it, there's the windmill with everything in it. In here is your shaders and all your little textures and whatever is needed for that windmill to look like a windmill. So if you open this now, you're going to go into editor 8.2 just to show you what it looks like. There it is. Remember to zero it, because if you don't zero it, it will be somewhere there in the distance. Remember to zero it and save it, and there it is. So that is our windmill with all its stuff. Now you can take this windmill in the FS22 editor and import it, and it will convert it into FS22 format. And then you're going to have to fix all the errors on it. Once you've got it working in FS22 and it's fine, you can put it in the map after you've converted the map. So that's the process, guys. So we're going to save that just for now, just have it for fun. Alright, so we're back in our map. I'm going to leave the wooden bridge like I said, just for fun. I want to see what happens if we try and import the wooden or convert the wooden bridge directly. Okay, so splines. Splines you can delete because the whole idea of splines in FS22 is different. So whatever splines you have, don't even bother with them. You're going to have to redo all the splines, so you're going to delete that. Distance objects, temp rocks, that's all stuff that's let's just have a look if there is any on this map. I don't think there is. Backdrop towns, there's nothing. That we can delete. So the whole distance objects we can delete. Map borders. Is there any map borders that used? Yeah, I think this map borders. Yeah, that's your actual borders. So we don't want to delete that. So otherwise you're going to fall off the map. You get to the end of the world and you fall down. Okay, so map borders. Distant hills. I think there is distant hills. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Transform, what is that? Oh, that's the edges, yes. Green mountains, that's fine. I'm gonna leave that and see if it converts all right. Trees. Now at the trees, guys. This because this whole map has got thousands and millions of trees, I'm going to leave the trees and see if there's any problems with them. If there is, we're gonna have to fix them one at a time and repopulate them, you know, in the map. It's a massive job, but anyways, it's something that needs to be done. Diamec, that's part of the old map. I'm just gonna have a look. Where is that? I don't think I've used any of this smoke pot stuff. That's still just stuff that's in the bottom of the map. Gas station, delete that. Rocks and water plants. Now the water plants, I know it's got a problem with some textures and stuff in FS22. For some reason they don't. This water plants come straight out of FS19, and the guys that built the converter didn't have enough brains to make the thing to convert their own stuff over into FS22. So I just don't know how this works, but anyways, so the water plants, I'm gonna chuck them. There's luckily not a lot of them, so it might be easier just to chuck them and repopulate the map with water plants. So yeah, let's do that. Rocks I'm going to leave for now. There's a lot of rocks on the map, so let's just see if they do convert. Right, now that we've removed everything here out of the map, we're going to save the i3D. Just wait for it to save. And then we hold thumbs for the future. Great, so once we've run through the whole directory tree, we can save it, and there we are. Close it up. Now we go back here. into the directory. Now the next thing is our default items. We've done, I just want to have a look quickly. What am I forgetting? The stuff that you know that you've just deleted out of the map now, you can obviously delete. Splines we've deleted. What was Zigar? Clock. Zigar I can delete. I know that's a clock that's never been used. Shared map brand. Just want to quickly have a look. Objects. What's this? Wand. Okay, the wand is that border. Map brand. Data. Distant hues. Okay, so that was our distant hues shared. I just want to have a look what's in there. Corona orange. That's part of that orange tree, if I'm correct. Hope that thing converts. It's a beautiful tree. It might have problems, so we might have to delete them. Right, so what else? Data. The data directory. Here we have placeables. Okay, in here, the farmer's market, the forestry, the livestock, the shop, the signs, the wind pump. All of that we can delete. It's not part of the map anymore. And the bridge I've decided to leave. So we just wait for that to finish. And the water plants I've deleted. Let me just open this to make sure. Wind shaders. Alright. Water plants, so we delete that. Alright, I think we've now got everything in that directory sorted. That's our backgrounds and stuff. The HUD, that's fine, we've already had a look at that. Map 01. This is all the textures and weight files and everything that needs to be converted. Hopefully they do convert properly. Models, what's models? Sounds, rain, okay, leave that, it's just a sound file. Scripts. Now scripts, I'm going to delete this whole directory because we don't want any scripts on your map. And shaders. I'm scared to delete the shader, but I suppose let's delete the shader and I could always come back and restore it. Animated objects. I know there's no animated objects anymore, so that you can delete that. That's our NPCs XML. Right, so the next one, selling station generic. We don't have that anymore. Bye. Okay, default items. I think we've already checked that. Yes, we have. That should be empty. Default vehicles should be empty. Husbandry food definition. That we can delete. We're not going to use that anymore. That husbandry food definition comes from your map XML that we've changed. So if you look here at husbandry animals, that should all be $. It's the default in-game stuff. Husbandry food, there it is, husbandry food definition. So we routed that back to default from the default map, the standard in-game map. Color gradings, environment, farmlands, all of that. I think color grading and environment is part of the map 01. Let's just verify. Color grading, there it is. Environment, all changed back to default. So we're setting environment. Alright, farmlands you want to keep because that is custom to the map. So if you're in here, this is your pieces of land, so you don't want to delete that. You want to keep that. It's set up in your map. Map sound is also routed back to default. Map 01 traffic system. Am I right? Traffic system should also be here. Animals. Map 01 husbandry animal names. I'm on a traffic system. I'm going to delete it anyway because it's not part of the map anymore. Traffic system. Transport missions you want to leave. That's set up in your i3D. That's your missions where you have to take this little bag of stuff there, you know, that type of stuff. Veil types you can delete, because density map up types we can delete. That's back to defaults. Fill types and fruit types you can delete. That's back to defaults. And wool we can delete. Alright, so there you are. All the XMLs is sorted. The rest of the stuff should all be fine. Now that we've run through the whole map, we want to reopen it in the old editor 8.22 just to make sure that we don't have any errors. Now that we've chucked so many stuff, who knows? We shouldn't have any errors. Alright, where's our console? Did I close the console again? Alright, right. Everyone happy? No errors. I'm going to save it just for fun. And once it's saved, we can move on. Ready? Okay. Right, guys. So I think up to here, I'm going to see what the time is. I want to make the episodes not too long. So once you've done all of this, should actually take you hours if it's a more complex map. This is the most basic map you can find, because there's no buildings, there's no cell points, there's no nothing, you know. So it could take you many more hours to sort it out. So I'm going to leave you there, but the basics are there to show you how to strip your map back to bare bones so you can export it, import it, and have it converted in the FS22 editor. So we'll do that on the next episode and start testing around. I hope it's been fun. I've enjoyed it tremendously. And remember to like and subscribe and to share my stuff with friends and family and all our farmers out there. Great stuff. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.